Good morning. Welcome to the floor of my living room. I love cozy book content. I was just watching one of Heather McClary's vlogs this morning, and I just love them. Her aesthetic, her editing style, you just want to be there. It's so inspiring to watch, and it's so calming and soothing. I want to do that. I know that my personality and my editing style and my just aura does not give very cool, calm, and collected, but that is at least the goal for today's video. So welcome to today's reading vlog that I think is going to be a mood reading vlog. I don't have a very busy week this week. I work a lot, but other than that, I've got a lot of time to read, and I've got books, so let's talk about them. The first book that I'm currently halfway through, I am at page 182, which is 54% of the way through this. One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I got this from the library with the intention of reviewing it for my Instagram because I am reading and reviewing titles that correspond to one of the letters in the word love for February, so this was our O book. This is a reread for me. I read it back in 2019. Fun fact, it was one of the first books that made me realize that reading could be fun. I think of this book so fondly, and I didn't remember a lot of the nitty-gritty details of it, but I did remember the overall premise, and so I already know this is a 5-star. I loved it then, and maybe it's just the nostalgia that's associated with this, but I don't think it is. I think that Taylor Jenkins Reid is just one of my favorite authors. Her writing makes me feel like no other. I can't really describe it, but when I read this, I've laughed, I've cried, I pretty much cheer up every single time I pick it up, and maybe it's just the subject matter. For a little rundown on what this is about, it's about our main character, Emma Blair. She grows up, marries her high school sweetheart. He is a photographer for nature documentaries, so he goes on a trip on the eve of their 1-year marriage anniversary. He goes on a trip to the Aleutian Islands to take photos there with his crew. Their helicopter goes down over the ocean. He is then presumed dead. She goes through the entire grieving process. It is so beautiful to read about. As weird as that sounds, I love it so much. She ends up reconnecting 10 years later with the man that was kind of loosely there in the background her entire life because he worked at her parents' bookstore with her. His name is Sam. They end up getting engaged, and then one night she receives a call from her high school sweetheart Jessie that he is in fact not dead and that he is coming home to see her. She's in this position right now. The love of her life, the first love of her life, all she's really ever known, has come back into the picture after she thought he was dead for the past 3 years. And she also has her new fiance in the picture who she equally loves but in a different way. And so that is why it is called One True Loves, because she is trying to reckon with who do I really want to spend the rest of my life with, who am I now, who was I then, and how do we move forward. This book is just so incredible. Like I said, I already know it's a 5-star. I love the premise of it because it's giving second chance romance in the way that not only is she getting sort of a second chance with her high school sweetheart, but also second chance because this man that was kind of in the background her entire life has now come into the picture in a very big way. Their banter, oh my god. The day they meet each other 10 years later in the music store, she's like, oh my god, she thinks he's an employee because he has grown up playing so many instruments. She's like, okay, help me find these pianos or whatever, and he like helps her but doesn't want to say anything. After she finds out that he doesn't actually work there, he's like, well, how about I take you for a beer? And their first date, the dialogue in this is so important to me. I can't describe to you what Sam Kemper means to me. He is the most emotionally mature, he's the blueprint. This is my official pitch to you. This is my review already, recommending that you need to read this book. Anyway, maybe we'll talk about this more. I'm gonna shut up about it for now, but this is so incredible, and that's the book that we're currently in the middle of. I also want to read In Memoriam by Alice Wynne, which is my book club's pick for February. I can't even make it to the date this month because I have a show that night. I still really want to read it because one, I checked it out from the library. I already have it. It's over in the other room, but it also just sounds really good. It's a historical fiction queer romance. It's about 2 young men. They go to high school together, and then I believe one of them or both of them goes off into World War I is what's happening in the time period at that point. I flipped through it a little bit and it looks like there are some letters that get written to one another. I'm really excited for it. It does sound heartbreaking, so I'm kind of prepping myself for that already, but I do want to get through it. But that's the plan. It's like I'm 18 all over again. He says, I love you and I have you, and now I'm terrified I'm gonna lose you to Jessie for the 2nd time. Thank you, Sam, for breaking my heart on a daily basis. Okay, I genuinely cannot read this book without tearing up. Just know that Sam, when I said that he's emotionally mature, it's because when she lost her husband and they started to get together, he said to her, I don't need you to ever feel like you have to stop loving him. In fact, I don't want you to stop loving him. And I know that I could never replace him. And I want you to know that I'm not trying to. You will never have to give up loving him as long as you love me, because I understand that that's not fair to you. And that's just not something that you can do. He is an important part of your life and he always will be. And I just want to like fit alongside that. Taylor Jenkins Reid wrote it in so many better words, but oh my God, why is my radiator screaming? Now that Jesse's back in the picture, he is absolutely heartbroken. And he's kind of having this whole monologue where he was saying that like he doesn't know if he meant that now, and he's so mad at himself for feeling he's not happy for the two of them, but it's just because he loves her so much, and the idea of losing her a second time when he loved her when he was younger kills him. And so there's just so many layers to this book. I am obsessed with his character that you just like can't help but root for him, and you understand every facet of her pain, of how this is an impossible situation to choose between these two people, especially because like obviously she thought he was dead. You cannot fault her for wanting to move on and allow love to come into her life in a new way. So you cannot fault her for moving through her grief and falling in love with Sam, but yet you also can't fault her for the impossibility of somebody that she was always meant to love coming back into her life and her not knowing what to do about that. It kills me hearing how she's like conflicted about her feelings, but at the same time, if you ever thought there was a possibility that somebody was coming back into your life, would you have held out for them? And it's like obviously she didn't, because the human mind knows that there's no coming back from being dead. There was no other way for her to carry on, but now that the impossible has happened, he is alive, which is something she never allowed herself to fantasize, because that doesn't happen. It's like, what does she do? I love this book. I just gotta say too, I'm a real winner here. I guess 1, found a 5-star read. 2, favorite author. 3, my man is Sam Kemper. And look, sorry about it. I don't know what I did to deserve it either. There are so many similarities. The words that he says, the intent behind his actions, the way that he loves and perceives her, and also the fact that he is picking his cuticles right now, which is something that my man does all of the time when he is anxious. That's just a little thing, but honestly probably coincidental, which I'm not taking as a coincidence because I believe in the universe, so I am taking this to heart. But like I really won the lottery with this, and I think it's breaking my heart even more because I couldn't imagine breaking my Sam Kemper's heart either if this impossible thing happened. You guys please read this, it's so good. Oh my God, I can't. I'm being dramatic. Yeah, probably. Oh my God. Oh my God. I can't handle this. I don't know if I can read this at work later. It's hurting me too bad. Hello! I am finally back from coffee this morning. It was so much fun. I love my friend Camille. We ended up being there for 4 hours, which usually that's like on par. I feel like every single time we get coffee on Saturdays, it's like usually a 2.5 hour, 3 hour venture, but sometimes 4, like today, and it was just so much fun. I loved every minute of it. We went back to this place that we used to go to, and I took a little video of it, but I got this bacon, egg, and cheese chili crisp croissant sandwich, which was so good. And then I got their bread pudding muffin, which I love, and sometimes if it's really busy, it sells out, but we just happened to get there at a really good time today. We got there at 10 and left around like 2:20, and there were so many dogs in the coffee shop today. I think we saw 6 dogs in total. 2 of them actually like came up to me. One of them was like the cutest Boston Terrier with the biggest eyes I've ever seen, and then the other was the owner's 8-month-old puppy that she literally just like plopped into my lap, which was incredible. So that was awesome. I thoroughly enjoyed that. And right now we're actually gonna get ready for the show tonight because I am in now. I wasn't supposed to go in at all this week. We usually do shows on Thursdays and Saturdays. I wasn't in on Thursday, and I wasn't supposed to go in tonight either, but unfortunately something came up and I do have to go in. So I have about an hour and a half before I need to leave. I do need to read though. I think I'm gonna read on the train on the way there and probably on the way back. I'm gonna take a shower and wash my very greasy hair and probably blow dry just so it doesn't look too insane. the skincare products that I use make my face really dry, and I'm trying not to like overuse them, but at the same time use them enough to where my skin doesn't purge from taking so long of breaks in between. I still have the Aquaphor on, which could be a really good thing or a bad thing. I tried to allow my face to have a moment while I was blow drying my hair to like not peel off into oblivion. And of course it's right by my smile line right here, which as soon as I talk or move my mouth literally at all, and hey, I never shut up, I have a feeling that it is going to come off. So we're gonna be really light with the makeup right now. I'm unsure if the foundation is even really gonna layer over the Aquaphor, but like, this is what I'm gonna do. It's so funny because since getting off of Accutane, this is actually not me complaining, because the way that my skin is now, I'm so grateful for, but it's just so funny that I had so many like makeup application problems back when I had acne, and it's like, just because I have clear skin now does not mean that that has changed. I now have overly dry skin. Like, I still experience all of, or a lot of the issues that I had when I was on Accutane, just in a different font. I'm just gonna do a base layer. I don't do my eyeshadow or anything until I'm there. When we get to the theater, our call time is 5:30. I do intimacy call and they do fight call. And then as soon as we're finished with that, we'll start our half hour. And then we have to be in costume, ready to do like a check-in, a group check-in, as well as warm-ups at 6:15. The show starts at 7, but because it's an immersive museum exhibit, they have like a lot of activities that they can do and stuff like that to help us throughout the show. So it ends up starting like 7:10 every night, just because once people are in, they still have a couple minutes to like interact with the space. Usually on that 30-minute call is when I'll do my face makeup when I'm getting changed and stuff like that too. And then honestly, my character doesn't enter the stage until at least 20 minutes in. I usually do my hair during the pre-show walk-in portion and then finish up when the show actually starts, which it's not hard. Like, I literally put a half up, half down little ribbon thingy into her hair. Okay, we may have actually lucked out. It looks like my skin may not be good tomorrow because a lot of this is probably drying it out immensely, but for right now, I think we can get away with the dry skin. They may look a little dewier than normal. I'm always oily, so that'll be nothing new. Oh, and then blush. I do that now. This is literally a Ben Nye. Those who get it. Victorian Rose. I think it's the one that just naturally comes in like the palest kit that you could possibly get. Okay, my face already looks really flushed blow drying my hair in a hot bathroom, so I can't really tell right now, but I think that this is accidentally gonna look really crazy. I'm gonna spray setting spray for good luck. This is the face. Okay, I've taken a moment. So obviously just finished One True Love, 5 stars. I don't know if you thought I was gonna say something different, but I already called it. It's a 5 star. I had a really interesting realization while I was at work. I wonder if part of the reason why I love this so much, like maybe a hidden reason, kind of gives Team Edward or Team Jacob vibes. Like, you're either Team Sam or you're Team Jesse. Reading this, I think if you are Team Jesse, you're just Team Jesse on principle. Honestly, when I was describing the premise of this to Tyler, he was like, I would be pissed if I spent 3 years on a deserted island thing. All I thought about every single day was coming back to you and I came back to you and you didn't want to choose me right away, like that wasn't just like an easy answer, I'd be pissed. So I feel like if you're Team Jesse, you're just a part of that boat where it's like, obviously there should be a right answer to that, but if you're Team Sam, then you have taste. No, I'm just kidding, but I just thought that was so funny because I've never really put two and two together before, but it's kind of giving like Twilight vibes in a less magical, more depressing font. This is incredible. So right now it's 7 p.m. Tyler is the Sam of my dreams and making us dinner right now. In a half hour, I have a Zoom table reading of the short film that I'm gonna be in at the end of March. So, I mean, I'm not gonna do any makeup or anything because like I'm feeling more confident about my skin these days and stuff, but I just need to like wipe the tear residue off my face and hopefully not look like I was insane for just crying over a book. After that, we might watch a movie, but I might also see if I can get like a chapter or two into In Memoriam just because I'm like really excited to read that now. And I think I'm going to dual read that with The Vacationers by Emma Straub because I need to read that for my Instagram as well. That's what's happening right now. Yesterday was a snow day, as I showed. We both had the day off. I really didn't do much, so I didn't film very much. I did like a couple household chores. I barely read at all yesterday. I got 7 pages into In Memoriam by Alice Wynne and then put it down. I started reading it again this morning and I'm only on page 13. This is a book whose words are not easily entering my brain, so I'm definitely gonna need to take my time with that one, which I don't mind. But I also was like, maybe I'll pick up something else while I'm starting a fresh book. So I did, in fact, pick up The Vacationers by Emma Straub, and I am 29 pages into this, so this is a lot easier for me to dive into and I'm really enjoying it. This is about a family who is vacationing for 2 weeks in Mallorca, Spain. You know, the family dynamics are family dynamicing. There is a husband and wife duo in this, both in their middle to late 50s. Not in the happiest of marriages. There's nothing overtly wrong just yet, but like the mom is on her own wavelength. She's elbowing people to get to the front of the line as soon as they announce boarding because she's like that type A traveler mom. The dad is just kind of like standing in the background, trying not to do anything to piss her off, also trying not to lose his cool. He doesn't seem very high strung or anything, but he's just driving in the back seat of his life at the moment. He just recently got laid off from his job, I believe. I mean, it says he lost his job. I don't really know what happened, but he was working in a magazine, I guess. So he likes to write pieces. She is also a writer as well. We have Sydney, who is about to start college in 6 weeks. Her older brother, there's a 10-year age gap in between them. His name is Bobby. He is bringing his girlfriend on this trip as well, but they didn't all travel together. He lives in Florida doing real estate, so they're not really close. They sort of are, but they also have wildly different lives. There's also like a family friend and his husband who are coming as well. They just arrived at the place. That's where we're at right now. The views sound absolutely stunning. Massive house, ivy all over it, tucked in the mountainside. The beach is just right around the corner. There's a pool in the backyard. Like, this just sounds heavenly to read about. That's really all that's been going on. I think I'm gonna fast forward through rereading these a little bit just because nothing really new is happening. I did choose my headshots yesterday. That was another one of the things that I did yesterday, along with like some household chores. I won one of those free headshot sessions off of an Instagram giveaway, which is so crazy because I didn't think those things like actually truly work, but I finally won one. So that was awesome. I took them like 2-ish weeks ago and I'm just really indecisive. So I finally chose which ones I wanted to have him edit, did some household chores, played in the snow, and I started Heated Rivalry, which I did show you guys. Look, I know I'm so completely late to the game, but I did start that last night. I'm only on episode 1, and I'm gonna say something controversial. I don't know how I'm feeling thus far. I, first of all, thought it was a slow burn. Really was not expecting what transpired in episode 1 to have transpired in episode 1. So also I think I'm coming to terms with the fact that I'm finally seeing what everyone else has been referencing. I always feel that way when I check something out that has been mainstream or a lot of people have seen and have had thoughts and opinions about, because obviously I've seen a crap ton of memes, I've seen edits, girl have I seen edits. So I feel like I've inadvertently seen so many aspects of the show, but to finally watch it and know that like this is the thing that people are referencing, now I have an image to put to this thing that people talk about, is interesting because I'm just like, oh, this is the thing that everyone has seen. But that's what's going on now. Sorry that I'm boring. next morning, I'm reading some more of this. I'm on page 45. There's a lot more drama than I realized. I'm pretty sure it's alluding to the fact that the husband cheated on the wife semi-recently, it seems. We don't know with who, we don't know exactly when, we don't know really what happened, how they found out, like nothing really. But there have been some lines that have incriminated our main character, or not our main character, but the husband, Jim. Tensions are sort of high as is. Like, people are trying to operate as if things are normal for the sake of the household, but they're very clearly not. And we just got a scene where the husband and wife are like alone in the bedroom together before bed, and Jim was like, the writing is so specific in how it feels to operate in a family that's going through something, just in the sense that like everyone is kind of walking on eggshells, and there's this like feeling in the air of playing the role that you're supposed to, but knowing that like it's kind of a performance and nothing is really going well. So that's super interesting to me. He took a little bit longer in the bathroom washing his face than normal, but it was for a reason, because he wanted to see how this first night went. And it says like this first night is indicative of how the rest of the trip is going to go. It'll be interesting to see if Franny has softened since being in the house and on the airplane and entering a new country, or if she's going to act the same. So as soon as he comes in the room, he goes to get into bed, and she's like, I'd prefer it if you slept in the guest bedroom. That was just like an addition that I wasn't expecting, that I feel like we've recently learned he definitely did something. Also, something that we just learned is that the husband was talking about how when that Charles character that I was talking about comes to the house, which is a family friend, it seems like Franny and Charles have known each other ever since they were younger. Charles is an artist of some sort. There was a picture of a naked woman in the house that they're staying at, just like a piece of art in one of the bedrooms, and the daughter Sylvia was like, most daughters have the luxury of not knowing what their mom looks like naked, but unfortunately that wasn't the case for her, because Charles used to paint nudes of the mom and like have them hung up over the house. So it's really interesting, because Jim was talking about once Charles arrives, like she'll start laughing like she's 24 again, and the rest of them could be setting each other on fire and she'd never know. And then there's this really beautiful line that was like, that's what best friends do, is ruin each other for everyone else. I just got like 10 times more invested. I hope none of that was like a spoiler, because I'm only on page 45. So it's information that you would know very early on. I'm just finding that so interesting, because there's clearly a lot more drama than I thought. There's definitely a cheating scandal, and there's also maybe like a wannabe cheating scandal from the mom and her best friend of years and years and years. I really have no idea. I'm excited to keep reading. The setting. We're about to finish up this video. I'm gonna give you my final thoughts on The Vacationers by Emma Straub. I just finished this last night, and I feel like my gut reaction was to give it a 4-star, which still seems very fair. But after sitting with it, which again, I only finished it last night, I don't feel like this is gonna have a lasting impact on me, which is totally fine. It was a super refreshing read. I have been reading romances back to back to back, and I honestly thought this was romance going into it, because I knew it was about an older married couple, but it was about so many other things. Yes, they're trying to repair their marriage after one of them has a cheating scandal. Not a scandal, literally an affair. Literally cheats on the other person. So while they are trying to repair their marriage, there are also other couples in the mix as well that we're getting glimpses of that all have their unique situations. One couple is trying to adopt a baby, the other is struggling through a long-term relationship that just isn't really going well. This book, more so than having a very intriguing plot, was just about character dynamics and the way they all relate to each other, how they're all functioning within this shared space for the 2 weeks that they're in Spain. And I did really enjoy it. Again, the writing is so specific, it is so detailed. I think Emma Straub is really talented at describing nuanced emotions or just actions and behaviors that people elicit when they are in group settings, trying to cover up something or seem normal to the outside eye. It was definitely fun to watch our characters have to struggle through different interactions. I think I wish that we got more group scenes. We did have a group dinner scene in here where a juicy piece of information that one of the couples were trying to keep under wraps finally came to light, and that was interesting to see everybody struggle through. So I wish we got more. We got a lot of one-on-one scenes with just different pairings of characters, which is still fun because the characters that were paired up together either had similar situations or were vastly different. But I did appreciate how much internal reflection that we got from these characters. I thought the daughter Sylvia, again, she's going off to college in a couple weeks. She is trying to actively seduce her Spanish tutor the entire time that she's there because she is so sad about going to college a virgin. I just think that her era of life is so fun to read about, teenagers struggling to define who they are while also feeling like they have this expectation that they've always lived in and this role they need to fulfill. This is also just one of those stories with flawed characters. I mean, husband Jim obviously did something pretty bad. I think as a reader, you'll be able to form your own opinions if you think how this story ended up was fair for both Franny and Jim. It was kind of exactly what I needed to pull me out of this like perpetual romance slump that I've been in, which is not really a slump. It's been wonderful to read romances back to back, but like I needed a change of pace, and this was enough of a change of pace that I was thoroughly pleased. Also, it's really short. I mean, under 300 pages, it doesn't overstay its welcome, so it's just a little glimpse into these people's lives. I probably won't think about it other than to review it if someone wants to hear about an oddly specific family situation with drama, here I am then recommending it to you if you feel like that is what you're looking for. And with that, we made it to the end of another video. I hope you all enjoyed spending a couple days in my life with me. I definitely want to do more content like this that's just very casual, and it's just fun for me to like look back and see what life was like at any given time. So I enjoy doing this just for myself, but I hope that you guys enjoyed it as well. I also realized this wasn't exactly a mood reading vlog because I had a reason to be reading both of these books. I definitely want to do more in the future where it's actually like I just look at my bookshelf and decide what am I in the mood for in this moment. No expectations or requirements to fulfill. What do I want to pick up? I'll be better at that in the future. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.